morning, it's me and Nana Toon Saturday morning, and we're here every Saturday from 9 to 9:30 with Living. You're rocking, and this is Bob Marley there, and it's sweeter every day, huh? I've been playing that song as an opening song for at least a year and a half, and it's still sweet. It just gets sweeter as the days go by, and good morning to you, and I got a few people who want to shout out, die-hard listeners, Amaryllis, Eugene and Anthony, Biggie Up, and Helen and Rhonda from In Chambers, and then we have Rashid Moore and Angela Innings, and you guys are die-hard listeners. You tell me that you got about what you got to do. Nobody could interrupt you between 9 and 9:30 and Saturday morning, and we love you for that, and we thank you that right all across this country in the Caribbean, and people are listening all over, man, because we bring everybody is interested in health, yes, and living. I don't care who you are, and if it's presented in a fashion that is appetizing, and then you would have won, and we thank you. Continue to support, but today we're finishing up with Didi. We had her last week in here, and I'm going to take two or three calls today, and just to ask a question, and please be very, conservative, and just to ask simple questions you want to know. Do you know that if you're walking on the street, chances are that you would pass someone that is a transdresser or dressed in apparel of the opposite sex, and you wouldn't even know? So those are things to think about. But yes, what this program really is about understanding that we are all God's children, and we're here, and we were born, and we didn't choose a certain path. Many of us choose paths that are wrong. What do you do? As I asked last week, I said, if your daughter or your son comes up and say, I don't feel this way, I don't feel good in this body, I feel like I am not a male, or I'm not attracted to males, I'm not attracted to females, how do you embrace them? I assimilate it to, if you wake, your son comes, or you go to the doctor, and your son has autism, you embrace him. Or if your son's got leukemia, you embrace him or her. So what's wrong with, they didn't ask to come into this world, they came, so they're here. And we have to treat everybody with something called human dignity. And you have to be first, a human being first, and then you can be anything after. Somebody called me and asked for Hotel California. They said that's how every time they're driving to hear that song, they think of the dog. I love the song too, man. I love it. So, I'm going to come on, and then after Hotel California from the Eagles, you imagine in that lyrics, they said that some guys were dancing to forget and some guys dancing to remember, man. It's crazy. Listen to the lyrics, and we'll be right back. Ronnie, who's playing the guitar,
It's not me or you.
Sounds like Santana, but it isn't. We're back, and I just got a caller, and she was a little bit concerned about referring to Didi as she. Didi, morning. Say morning.
Good morning, VOB. Good morning, Barbados. Thank you for listening in.
Yeah, and thanks for coming back.
Oh, you could be.
What would you be doing if you weren't here?
I would be probably, doing so many things. There's so many things to do.
Is Saturday morning a very busy morning for you?
Yeah, somewhat. Yeah.
Well, how would you address that? The caller was concerned that...
okay. Some people, people tend to go all over the world, when it's all over the world, scatter their brains and not pull it home. If it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's a duck. You understand? If it looks like a girl and sounds like a girl and lives like a girl, it's a girl. And the same as for if people, for me, they was you dressed up and they call you the opposite sex, and I'm like, okay, come on, give me the little respect that I ask for. The same way I respect you as a human being, you respect me. And if you don't know what to say excuse me. What is your name? And from the time he or she gives you their name, then you go like, okay, Miss or Mr. It's so easy.
What does Didi stand for?
That's my name.
Oh, is that so? Just Didi?
That's my real name. People think it's a nickname, and my name was changed years ago legally.
Okay.
So the old name is gone due to transitioning and stuff like that. And like some people still call you by the old name, and I wouldn't answer because that was then. This is now. You know. So Didi it is.
So is there first name and the last name?
Didi Damien Winston. That's my name.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. So you remember a few, maybe a couple of months ago, and I made a mistake and say I referred to you as he, and you corrected me. You said
no, get it right. Well, these are not fake.
Now, so how do you feel inside? Tell me.
Fabulous inside. I feel amazing.
What do you feel, like a beautiful woman?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
From the time you get up to the time you breathe, you're like, I am woman. Hear me roar.
When you walk down the street, do you compare yourself to women?
Well, there's no comparison because we are all different. They're big women, they're small women, they're athletic women, they're skinny women, they're voluptuous women, they're women with a boyish figure. You know, so we're all different. We all make up this world. You know, and there's some people who go, oh, I hate my hips. When there are people out there on the other side going, I wish I had her hips. Or, you know, I don't like my cheekbones, and people out there who go like, you know, and it's amazing how some of us, you know, there are things we would change in our body, and there are other things that people will want from us, you know. So, you know, as I always say, be you. It's from the inside coming outside. And if you give a positive look and you stay positive, you'll be fabulous.
Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
Where do I see myself 5 years from now? Maybe overseas, maybe here, maybe making UGLAB organization a bit stronger. There's so many things.
What you said, UGLAB?
UGLAB.
Tell me about
United Gays and Lesbians Against AIDS, Barbados. And for those of you who think that we're not working, we are. You know, so it's a safe space. You can come, you can relax, you can let go. You know, and I always tell people you can just be you.
I'm sure you would have dealt with a lot of research, and you would have go and read a lot about what makes people feel more comfortable with the opposite sex, dressing the opposite sex, or even transsexual, where they change and so forth into organs of the opposite sex, and all of those things. I'm sure you would have read a lot about it. You know a lot about it. Yeah. Do you feel, personally from you, I mean, everybody's got a different take on it, but the literature is the literature. Do you feel that you were born this way?
Yes.
Yeah. So in other words, whatever is in you was not something that was influenced by some external factor.
No. And I always say, you know, it's becoming yourself is like puberty. You know, there's some of us who change faster than some, and you know yourself. You know yourself from the get-go, who you are, what you want to be, where you want to go. Some people take their time, others are like, boom, I'm here, this is it. You know? So my thing is, for those people who go like, oh, you can't be, come on. Either you are or you're not. There's some people who mask it, and I do understand where they're coming from, be they male or female, and they can't deal with all the drama and stuff like that, but my thing is, be true to you. You gotta be true to yourself.
So you think living a lie is bad?
Yeah, because eventually it blows up. And when it blows up, it gets nasty. When it gets nasty, it's hard to clean. And something being hard to clean is a lot of drama. So, you know, I'm not telling people how to live their lives, but I'm just saying be true to you.
How do you feel about guys who are this way, but because of society, they have to try to live a lie, they get married, have a couple of kids, and then still get involved in things that they shouldn't do? I mean,
like I said, there's certain people who can handle it, and then there are those who can't. And those people, for me, will be considered bisexual. And they're masking their feelings. And like I said, be true to you. You know, because there's some people who find out, and then it gets nasty, and then it's a whole rocky road, and it's a lot of drama. But that's what I'm saying, be true to you.
So you walking down the street and you're dressed in your wonderful attire. You look to the way you looked in the mirror. You turn left, you turn right. You look up and down. And you're so pleased with the way you look on the outside. You walk down the road, but somebody sees you and feel that that you're different, and they're very abrasive towards you. How do you respond?
Okay, me personally, I ignore people every single day, and I have Oscars for ignoring people. I mean, hello. But my thing is, this is how I see it. People who don't understand are ignorant, and that's where the ignorance comes from. And it stems from that. If there's some people who don't understand, and my thing is, educate yourself to the differences in people. Educate yourself to the differences in your surrounding. I mean, like, me personally, when people say negative things to me, I'm like, wow. Okay, she's not too smart or he's not too bright. You know, let it go.
Can I confess something? I'm confessing something here on national television. And, well, the national radio, you see that? That's a Freudian slip, guys. It can happen to anybody. I do this thing live, you know, and I don't really match people like Ronnie, but I do this thing live, and I could handle it a little bit. But I must confess to you, out there, people listening and tourists and everybody, that my son, if he comes to me and said, "Daddy, I'm gay," I'm going to be very disturbed. I am saying that. And I'm going to sit down and try to talk to him and see what's happening, if I did anything wrong. I'll try to look at various aspects of his life and so forth. And I would love him, but I would be I would be a little disappointed, you know, because I expected to be walking down the aisle with him, with a nice lady and so forth. And I'm sure a lot of people out there could relate to that. I will accept my son, but then I'm telling him.
But in most cases like that, it's what you want, not what he wants. It's what you, and it's you putting your. That's like you have a child who wants to swim, and you came up playing cricket, and your child. You're going to play cricket, and he or she does not want to play cricket. They want to swim. Okay. That's you putting your take on them or what you want.
But isn't that what generally we as parents normally want to do?
True, but my thing is, all right, your son or daughter is gay. Whoopie-doo. You know, all right, my thing is kill your child with love. You know, get to know them as the individual they are, and go from there. A lot of people go like, "Oh, my son can't be this, my daughter can't be this," but that's them. That's their thoughts and their goals and what they want. And up to now, they don't know if their child likes red, if he likes to play, if she likes to sing. They don't know anything. They haven't asked their child. They're just going off the handle. And automatically, for me, a lot of people think sex when they hear gay, male or female is like, oh, and that's the only thing they think of. And your sexual preference does not make you who you are. The small little thing, and people fly off the handle. Oh my God, he or she's gay. Oh, so sad.
I'll tell you a story. On Sunday, I was in my car and had a flat, and a gentleman, very nice gentleman, came by and said he knows we put some air into the tire and tell me where to go and get it fixed. There's a guy that's open. A guy by the name of Sean. He said, "Hey, Sean, big up there, buddy."
Hey, Sean, go team.
And that's your neighborhood. What's the name of that neighborhood? He fixed my car. Thank you, Sean. He took care of me.
In my neighborhood, he's amazing.
What's the name of that?
That's Richmond's.
Richmond's.
Yes, he is amazing.
And Sean says they all love you.
Oh, thank you, Sean. Good vibes.
Yeah, guys, you know, we're having fun here this morning. Yeah, 9 to 9:30 with Didi and the dog. Yeah, we're talking about sexuality and so forth. You know, we can't put everything up in half an hour, but we try a little bit to try to compress it together like the compressor and give you something so that you go and think about. But there's something called do not resuscitate, or the right to live and the right to die. Next, I'm going to do a whole month of that because, listen, I have a passion for this thing. You know, and I'm going to graphically go through it from next week. You got to kind of tune in. What is it when you're dying, the dying process? No, I'm not talking about guys who just want to die. The terminally ill. metastatic cancer, it's all over your body. You got a few days or a week or something like that to live. Are you going to tell me you will send that patient home to die? You know what the dying process is like. The last stage is where you have agonal breathing and you gasping for the last breath. And every breath is an effort. I tell you, it's not going home to die and all of those things. I believe that if someone, like we have our tourists coming on this island, and they have a documentation saying that you should not use extreme measures to sustain their life because they're terminal, I think it should be honored. And I'm starting a group that would be advocate for this, because I think the same way we have the right to live, we have the right to die. But remember, I'm going to quote that. I'm speaking about a terminally ill. It'll start from next Saturday, 1 month, and if you want to visit our website, www.thesparmanclinic.com, share your comments on it, because we are trying to start a group in that area so that people's right would not be infringed upon. I'll be giving a talk at the Sparman Clinic on the 17th, which is Wednesday at 5 o'clock. Everybody's welcome to come about this, and I'll tell you about the whole dying process and so forth. Things you should know about this. One thing we sure about is living and getting ill and dying. Some people live and they just die. They don't wake up. Sudden death and so forth. But most people will go through a process. And for the time being, it has to be something that you have to be concerned about and you have to know about and be prepared for. Yes, when you're 19 and 17, you don't think of these things. But as you get older, when you see a friend start dropping around you, yes, you start thinking, I'm going to come Shining Star. I'm going to have the Manhattans, and then I'll come back and close off with Didi. I will want to take a call. One call. You want to say something?
No, I'm just saying, hey.
All right, yeah.
Enjoy
the Manhattans, and then I'll come right back. We'll take one call for Didi, and then we'll close off this morning. But we love you, we care for you. Shining Star and the Manhattans. Shining Star, you got a shining star. Hug her in your arms, or hug him and tell him you love him. So, we're back, and we were talking about, cross-dressing and identity and all of those things. And yes, as I said before, yes, some of you may have some mixed emotions about that. Depends on what your belief is, but it's living. And we can't shun these things. It's a time and age where you have the internet and we have to address all issues. And I'm here to talk about medicine. And I'm sure you don't want to hear medicine every day. So I mix it so every day you want to know where I'm coming with. I keep it like Pavlov and his dog, Every day, he stimulates them. And then every day the dog wants to know if he's going to get food or not. So here I am. But, we got a caller, right, don't we? Let me just take this call. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, how are you, Mrs. P?
Yes, it is.
How are you doing on a Saturday morning?
I'm doing fine. Didi is like a breath of fresh air.
Oh, thank you, Miss P.
And I'm going to tell you why, Didi.
Yes.
I grew up in an environment where I was not only the only black child in the classroom, I was the only black child in the entire school.
Wow.
But I had a mother who was tough and strong and taught me that it makes no difference. I'm there to learn and be the best that I could be in sports and academic.
For sure.
And I shone in my school. I think you are one of those people that are going to help others come out of the closet and stop hiding.
Yeah.
You're going to bring it out. I think you're a very brave and courageous young lady.
Thank you.
And I know that our paths are going to cross one day.
Okay.
I also know that I've done my own research long before I came to Barbados. And my research showed me that they are coming very close to finding a gene that determines who and what we are at birth, our sexual preference. And I believe it's just like the man who once said the world was flat and we all believed him. One day, a lot of people are going to be embarrassed at the way they treated other people, knowing that this is the way it was meant to be, and there's not a thing you can do to change who you are. God bless you, and have a good day.
Thank you. You too. Enjoy.
Miss B, thank you for that. I appreciate that call. That was well received, you know. And yes, it's true what she said, Megala. What do you want to say? We're going to close off now. What do you want to say right now to Barbados, people who are young kids that are growing up, that are feeling very mixed and confused about their identity? What would you say to them?
To the young kids growing up, be you. I'm not saying to be disrespectful to your parents. I'm not saying to be rude. I'm not saying to just go crazy, but live for you, love you, you know, and my thing is, what people think of me has nothing to do with me, because they don't care. You know, you need to adopt the attitude that you are special and you are loved. And if you are in a circle where there's a lot of negativity, find friends who are positive, where the energy is flowing, and you will be fabulous. And if you need me, I'm on Facebook. Holla.
Thank you, Didi. I really appreciate you coming in,
Thank you
taking
for
your
having
morning.
me. Thank you.
Yes, for being here.
Always
a pleasure having you around. We love you. And we love you, Barbados. We are here.
Have a good day,
we care
Barbados.
for you. And I look forward to see you. Don't forget, do not resuscitate.
Stick to VOB.
Yeah, don't resuscitate. That's when we're going to start for next week. And don't forget, Wednesday at 5 o'clock on the 17th at the Sparman Clinic, I'll be speaking about do not resuscitate and the right to live and the right to die. We leave and bye-bye.
Bye.